So I don't know how many of you are actually going to get on your reformer, but I'd love you to if it's right by you.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we're going to do these things together. I didn't give you a handout because this isn't a theory thing. This is about, let's look at how we can strengthen the spine, move the spine differently on the reformer, and I'm in any case going to give you the recording. Okay. And if the exercise feels a bit tough, then don't do it and watch it. Okay, but at least you'll have it in the recording as well. I know that there's a couple of people that need the recording that can't make it today, and there's quite a few that still have to come in here, but I'm going to, I don't want to wait too long. There, that. Right. I'm going to sit over here because I know there's better lighting over here. Okay, so I'm going to start so long, and if I see them pop in, then I'll just let them in as we go. So one of the things that I quickly wanted to chat about the spine is that, oh, can you mute everyone? That's not going to work. Here we go. Is the fact that we're possibly not working it enough, and for lack of a better word, intensely enough. Everything is very sort of lower load, focusing more on the stabilizers, which aren't our biggest muscles. We're looking at the internal stabilizers, and we're not looking at longissimus and iliocostalis, not specifically spinalis, because that one is right on the spine, and that one does that segmental extension and flexion. But whenever our clients are training and they get the sensation that their back is working, they immediately feel that they need to stop and something is wrong. And sometimes the instructors even think they shouldn't actually be working their back so much. But it's always dependent on the exercise. So I had actually hurt my back in a stupid long distance drive that we did, sitting between two baby chairs like this in flexion. And when I got out, I was absolutely stuck and I couldn't stand up. And I mean, I'd never hurt my spine like that, but it just did me in 2.5 hours sitting like that. And I did everything that I knew I had to do, and I did the low load work, and I did the neutral to just get my spine to feel it's more comfortable in that position. And I always felt like it was going to tweak the same way whenever I went into flexion. And I felt like I didn't have that strength in my spine that I used to have. And I was sort of in between Pilates and in between the gym. And I went to the gym and I did a squat, and I decided, you know what? Clearly I have to strengthen my back, and clearly I'm not doing enough. So don't do this with anybody. I'm not saying you must do this. But I took 20 kgs and I went down and I started doing these with the 20 kgs to actually get my spine to be stronger. Within a month, I felt so much better. I didn't feel nervous to go forward. It was like I had that tone back in my spine that I needed, just because I was getting the stabilizers. But when we actually start loading the spine and strengthening it, that means that we can cope with our more functional movements that requires load whenever we're doing things. We don't just need the stabilizers to be working. So we actually have to strengthen the bigger muscles as well. And that's why I thought this would be fantastic. And we need to learn how we can create those types of strength on this equipment that we own, so we don't always get stuck with our usual repertoire and our usual pulling straps that we've learned. We can actually think out of the box and really make the client feel the work. So I want you to start today just by doing a nice warm-up for the spine, and then we're going to build it up, and eventually we're going to be standing on the reformer. That was pretty amazing when I was doing that today. And if you've got your box with you, I'd like that by you as well, please. So I want you to start on one spring on your reformer. Now, I know not all the springs are the same. So one full spring, because I've got a full spring and I've only got half springs. I don't have quarters or anything like that. So I've got 4 fulls and 1 half, okay? So I'm starting on one full spring. You're going to have the bar up, right? You're literally going to follow me. So I've got my knees fairly close to the edge. My hands are on the bar, and I'm sort of hinging forward with my spine. So I'll just wait for everybody to get in position. Right? So you're tauling your spine and you're thinking of neutral. From there, shoulders are relaxed, and I'm actually reaching my arms away from me to maintain that serratus anterior. You're going to curl your chin in, but keep your arms straight, and you're going to see how you push the bed away with that movement. And then I want you to extend from the lower middle upper back and come straight up again to that neutral spine. So you're going to curl from the chin, rolling all the way down, pressing the bed away, ensuring that the shoulders are down here, and then extending from that coccyx, bringing it all the way up, back to that neutral position. And we go chin in, pressing the bed away, rolling all the way down, and gently extending from the coccyx to that flat back, and then bringing it all the way up. We'll do one more because there's quite a few things that I want to do. Chin curls in, gently pressing it away. From here, I want you to lift up into a tabletop position, ribs are closed. Bring it back in and curl through. So that pulling up of the tailbone against the spring is making the back muscles work. So from there, we bring it up into that tabletop hold and controlling it back in. The shirt does not make me look like I'm doing a tabletop. Sorry. Just stick that in. So we're there, and we're going to press it out into that tabletop hold and controlling it back in and curving it, because here's that sweet release for it. And pressing it out, hold, and controlling it in. Two more. And gently pressing out. And you think of the tailbone pulling back. Here my abdominals are still holding on. And gently drawing it in. Last one. Pressing it out. You're going to keep it here. Maintain the bed. Gently curve the spine through. And then release it to neutral. But the bed is still. And curving it through. And releasing it to neutral. And curving it through. And release to neutral. Last one, curving it through, releasing it to neutral, and slowly bringing it in and curving it in. The next one, we're going to try and keep the tabletop as long as we can. So we press it out again to that tabletop. Now you're going to bring your knees in, but you're going to keep that tabletop for as long as you can, and that should be 120 degrees of hip flexion. So your back extensors are maintaining your pelvic position, and then you're going to curl it back in. So you're teaching your client what hip dissociation is. We press it out to that tabletop hold. We bring it in, maintaining that position, maintaining. When I get to that 120 degrees, I pull it in. So you're going to feel a bit of quads and hip flexors. That's totally fine. Into that tabletop hold. And bringing the knees in, maintain, keep it, and gently pulling it all the way in. Last one, we press it out, hold, and if you could put your hand on your back without falling over here, you'll feel that the back muscles are really working. Bringing the legs in, maintain tabletop, keep it, teaching the back how you'll stabilize my pelvis when I go into hip flexion. And then you curve it all the way in and gently roll up through the spine. Press the bed away just to there. Bring it to that tabletop, bringing it all the way in, curving all the way through, bringing it up. So we're just warming up the spine, pressing it out just to there, into that tabletop, to where you can't anymore, curving it in, and bringing it back up. And pressing it back just to there, not all the way. So it's half of that down stretch, bringing it in, curving it through, and bringing it all the way up. Last one, pressing it away, just to there, into that tabletop. Maintain, maintain, curving it through, and just gently restacking the spine up. So that's, I love that. Anything that flows, I'm there. So that's really nice, just to warm up the spine, give it a little bit of resistance, as well as teach the client how to dissociate my hip. Because when you're pulling your knee in and you're asking them to maintain the lumbar spine, you're actually teaching them how to dissociate in the hip without the spine going all over the place. Right, so you're going to be sitting on the back edge of your reformer for me. I've got a shorter strap, so you'll see if I let the bed go to the stopper, it's over there on my bed because I want a little bit of resistance and I've still only got one spring. My knees are slightly open and I'm holding my arms like that, all right? We're sitting up tall, we're still warming up the spine. Chin goes in, we gently curve down through the spine, but I'm not leaning forward yet. Hold it there. I'm still not letting my pelvis go. I'm trying to maintain that neutral. And then I restack it back up. So I tried not to flex at the hip too much. And chin goes in, keeping the hands exactly where they are. So they're just going to float forward and the bed moves. And then we gently restack it back up. Be sure to be pulling those elbows away from you, because that encourages that serratus anterior. So you don't want to be short in there. You want to pull them away. And then inhale, rolling down. Exhale, bringing it up. And yeah, your back extensors are pulling up against those springs, but it's like a really low load, right? And chin in, curving down. Deep curve in the spine. Now as you come up, I want you to extend your back for me and reach your arms behind you. Now your back is working because gravity wants to pull it down, it's pulling up and it's pulling against the springs. You're going to come back to the position that you were in, curving the spine. Exhale, extend. 2, a little bit of triceps, and that never hurts. And bringing it back in. And exhale, extend. Straight arms, open shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades down and curving the spine in. And exhale. So the tricky part here is for you to ensure that you've got extension in the lumbar spine. Hold that position, ladies. It's good for you. I just want to let somebody in here. There we go. Triceps are dying. I hope you're holding it. Right. And then gently curving down. So it's always the lower back that struggles to finish the movement. We're going to press it out. Susan, you can just hop on your reformer if you're there by it and join us. You've just missed a short warm-up, but I'll send you the video. Curving through. And exhale, reaching it back, straight arms, hold. Lumbar spine, be careful of that little tuck that you want to do. So you want to keep that and slowly controlling it in. Now I want you to sit upright, open the chest, curve all the way down, let your arms drop down. And exhale, pull the arms, restack in the back, and curving over. And exhale, lower, middle, upper, and curving down. If you need to change to half a spring, you can. Here, shoulders are down, arms are relaxed. I start pulling with the lats, thinking lower, middle, upper back, and gently curving all the way down. Last 2, exhale, lower, middle, upper back, and slowly taking it down, thinking open shoulders, and exhale, lower, middle, upper, hold, and gently controlling it all the way down, slowly rolling up through the spine. I love it. Right, from there, once you're sitting tall in your back, hinging forward for me. Whenever you hinge your spine forward, your back extensors kick in because gravity wants to pull your torso down and your back extensors resist it. So when in doubt, whether your client is getting good back work, just make them hinge forward with a tabletop or neutral spine. From here, you're going to hold this position. I want you to pull your arms back. As you bring it forward, you're actually going to tuck your pelvis through. And you'll see that I've flexed my full spine. Exhale, pull it back, extend forward. And curving it back, lean. So it's everything that we learned never to do, right? And exhale, reach and extend, hold. So we're teaching the spine to be strong and be flexible. And here you're working it from flexion to extension, which means full range. We want that. Exhale, curve, neutral, hold. And curving it back in. And exhale, curve, neutral, hold. And gently bringing it back in. Last one. Curve, neutral, hold. And slowly controlling it back in. Slowly bringing it up, and I want you to sit sideways for me now. So you can either stay on your knees or you can cross your legs. You're only going to hold on to the one strap for me here. Let's actually go up on our knees if you can. I'm hoping you can all go up on your knees. Right, so now I'm going to allow you to do that with your hips, okay? Normally we wouldn't do that. This hand is going to be behind your head, and we're actually working the spinal rotators. So my arm is crossed over. Just don't have it completely relaxed like that. You want a little bit of tension. You're going to exhale, rotate just like that, and then control it in and allow this hip to come forward. Normally we wouldn't do that. And exhale, rotate, and it's just allowing a functional movement of what happens when, for example, golfers rotate. They don't just do the spine, they include the hips as well. And we pull and rotate and controlling it back. And pull and rotate and gently controlling it back. Now you're going to keep your hips dead still. So you bring them square. And now it's a rotation in the spine. So you're going to start with rotation, but my hips are square. Exhale, pull, hips stay square, and controlling it in. So the first one was just to loosen it up. And we pull, hips stay square, and controlling it back. And we pull, hips stay square, and controlling it in. Last one, we pull, hips stay square, and gently controlling it in. You're going to stay facing this side, and then we'll turn over to the other side. Also for the spine, you're going to put the strap in this hand. This one goes on your hip. I want you to reach over, hold, just to there. I've got a slightly bent arm, but my elbow is forward at that 30 degrees, and gently controlling it back down. And exhale. So we're working this side and into the back. We reach just to there, elbow slightly in front of you, and controlling it down. And exhale, reach and hold just to there, and controlling it down. And exhale, reach and hold, elbow in front, still bent arm, controlling it down. Last one, reach and hold, and slowly controlling it back down. You're going to turn around to the other side and hope that you remember everything, because I'm going to give you the instructions as well. So you've got to kneel slightly on the diagonal. That's really important. Strap is in the hand closest to the shoulder pad. From there, you're going to allow, strap is in the hand away from the shoulder pad. You're going to allow the hips to rotate in the beginning. So hand behind the head, we allow it to move, pull one, and control and allow the rotation in the hips. Exhale, two, and control. Exhale, tummy draws, three, and making the clients aware of the muscles rotating in the back, and also the obliques, and controlling it in. Last one, rotate, hold, and gently controlling it in. Set the hips to be square. Start with rotation in the spine. We pull, we keep square hips, and we bring it back. And exhale. This other arm's elbow is slightly forward. The shoulder is relaxed. And we draw, rotate, and bring it back. And exhale, draw, hold, and gently back. You've only got 30 degrees of rotation. So anything more, you would be cheating and controlling it back. You're going to place it in the hand closest to the actual shoulder pad. From there, remember the elbow stops at that 30 degrees in front of you and you keep it bent. We take it over just to there and controlling it back. Exhale into that oblique and slowly back. And exhale into the oblique and controlling it back. And pulling it. You'll have to work a bit in that arm, not a bad thing. And shoulder blade down, last two. Reaching it over and controlling it back. Last one. Hold and gently controlling it back. Excellent. So you're going to put the box on the bed for now, and then we'll take it off gauges now. So your reformer box goes on. Right, so we're sitting on the box to start. So remember, if we lean back, we're flexing and stretching. If we go forward, we're working the extensors. So hands are crossed over here in front of you. You're going to you're going to curl through your spine, but if the bed goes back, you're still releasing it. But that means when you come up, you're going to have to extend the spine. So I've still got it on one spring. And we curve forward. This is nicer for hips that don't like to sit so deep. And knees, bringing it up, finding that good neutral position. And gently curving through the spine. Elbows pull away from you. And exhale, bringing it up. And hold. And chin in, rolling down. This time as you bring it up, you open the arms out, extend the chest. Lower the arms in front of you, bringing them forward, pulling them up, opening them out, extend the chest. Bringing it forward, flexing the spine, rolling up like you did, neutral, and then opening the chest. Shoulders are down. And flex all the way forward. And then gently bringing it up, restacking. Opening the chest out. From here, circle up this time. And lowering it down. Gently rolling back up. Opening the chest, hold. Circling it up, because yeah, the spine keeps working. It's like, oh my goodness, she's crazy. And gently lowering down. Rolling up, extending it back, hold. Circling it up, and gently lowering it all the way down. Excellent work. Right. So you're going to sit sideways, or not sideways, diagonally. Over there. You've just got the one strap for me, the other one you can drop down. You're going to be working a bit into your tricep, so if it's too much, take it down to half a spring. This leg is going to go on the side like that, and you're hinging forward with your spine. This hand is behind my back at the bottom here. I'm anchoring here with this foot. You're going to inhale, exhale, reach, hold, and inhale, controlling it in. Exhale, extend, hold, and you can put your hand on your back and feel what it's doing. And exhale, reach, hold, and controlling it in. And exhale, extend, hold, and gently back. And exhale, reach, hold, and bringing it in. Now you're going to rotate. We reach back, hold, and controlling it in. And extending, rotate, hold, and bring it back. This works like a bomb. And extend, hold. So you're bringing in that rotation element of all those little muscles that are creating that rotation in the spine. Last two, and let's not forget about the tricep. and the shoulder as well. And last one, reach and hold, and gently controlling it back. From here, you're going to have this arm here. This one's a little bit tricky. You can take it to half a spring if you need to. So you're holding all of this, hinging forward. You're gently going to pull the arm up slightly, and just through doing that and pulling it, your back muscles are kicking in. So your hand is over there, but we're doing that unilateral focus. So we pull it up, one, it's almost like a slight bicep curl, and a gentle lift with the elbow, and lifting it, two, but scooping the blade like we've learned, and lifting it, three, and controlling it down, and lift it up, four, you've noticed I've bent the arm and not made it straight because it'll almost be impossible, and lifting it, five, hold it there for five, four, three, ribs are closed, one, and releasing it down. Excellent, you can drop that one, grabbing the other one. Right, so we're sitting diagonally, this leg is behind us, we know that. From there, this arm is going to pull all the way back, hand behind your back, opening your chest. Hinging forward, because there's the work in the spine already. We reach it back, staying straight, and controlling it in. Exhale, reach, two, and gently in. Shoulder blade down, chest open, and bringing it in. And this arm is totally relaxed, the other arm, and in. Think ribs for me so that you don't just do lumbar. And reach, hold, control it in. There's that little rotation that your hand is doing when it's holding that strap. All right, we're going to add the rotation. We pull, rotate, and bring it back. And pull, rotate, and controlling it back. And pull, extend, hold, and bringing it back. Two more, reach, hold, think shoulder blade, and bringing it in. Last one, reach, hold, and gently bring it in. You're going to take both straps for me, and you're going to be kneeling on this box. So we go to the back of the box, sitting up tall in the back, and you'll see that I hook my feet on the edge because it's going to feel like this wants to pull me all the way to the front, okay? Straight back up here, ribs closed, hook the feet. You're going to roll down through the spine, extend your back, and bring it back up. My hands stay close to my chest. I roll down through the spine, extend the back, and bring it back up. And roll down through the spine, extend the back, and bring it back up. Inhale. Inhale, curve, shoulders down, elbows away. Extend, pulling it back up. Last one. And curve. And extend, and pulling it up. You're now going to hinge your torso forward, hold it there. Still hooking with your feet for that stability. We increase the pressure on the spine. We reach the arms back. And bringing it just to there. Always getting that scapular stability when I bring my arms in. Exhale, reach. Controlling it in. And exhale, extend. And gently in. And exhale, reach. Slowly in. We now go reach, hold. We lower all the way down onto the box. From there, I'm in full flexion. I'm actually resting on my thighs. I'm going to pull myself back to that diagonal line. I curve down over the thigh. And I pull myself up, diagonal line. And curving down over the thighs. And bringing it up, diagonal line. And last two, curving down. And exhale up, hold. And gently curving down. And bringing it up, hold. And slowly relax it. Hope you guys are feeling it. Now you're going to hook your feet because you're going to come up and you're going to hinge forward. So I am holding with my feet so I don't go flying. And I'm taking my torso forward. So yeah, my spine is working already. This is all holding on. So we're keeping these abdominals in here in the front. Straight arms there. We exhale, pull back. Maintain it. And lower. And exhale, pull. Hold. And release. And exhale, pull. Hold. And release. We're now going to go. Exhale, pull, hold, open. And control back. Exhale, pull, hold, open, and controlling it back. Exhale, pull, open, and controlling it back. We add in, so we open, we control back, we lower. We flatten, we open, we control back, and we flex. We flatten, hold, control back, and flex. And flatten, pull, hold, control back, and flex. From here, come into this position, so you're still holding on here. You're going to pull your elbows into your sides for me there. You're going to lower that chest down. Stay exactly where you are. I want you to keep your hands next to you. You're going to curve the spine, the bed doesn't move. And you extend it up. Curving the spine, so these springs are your resistance. My hands don't move. Extending 2. And curving over. And extending 3. Last one, curving over. And extending, hold. Put your left hand on the box for the strap. You extend this right arm back, open the chest, and bringing it in. And extending it back, open the chest, and you can see I'm rotating. And extend it back, open the chest, and bringing it in. Last one, open the chest, controlling it in. This hand goes on, left hand comes in, elbow down to the side. And we go, extend, rotate, and bring it back. And reaching 2, and bring it back. Exhale, 3, neutral spine. Last one, 4, and bringing it back. And slowly relax. Standing on the side of the box. Take a brief moment to catch your breath. People think we just stretch. You don't work hard in this place. You're going to be standing on your bed. Okay, so you can keep your box exactly where it is. From there, your arms are by your sides. I want you to curve your hands over your box. Bring them up. Pull the hands just to the knees. Curve the hands over the box. Bring it up just to the knees. Curving over the box. Bring it up just to the knees. And gently over. And exhale. Last one. Gently over. And exhale. Now we go. Gently over. Exhale, pull, hold. Take a break whenever you need to. I don't need any spasms tomorrow. And pull, hold. And curving over. And pull, hold. Last one, curving over. And pull, hold it there. Sitting down on the box. Woo! Like a full body workout. Never mind your back. But you'll see how I go from flexion to extension and flexion to extension. Because we really want to teach the spine that I don't only need you to be strong when I'm standing upright, I actually need you to be strong the day I flex over, because that's normally when you give in. So I need to create that strength in your eccentric position. Right, so you've got your feet here. Move them back on the box. Deep hip flexion. You've got 120 degrees. You can do this. So we're making strong backs. Up in your chest there. You're going to pull lift up, hold, and gently controlling it down. You're allowed to pinch the box slightly with your calves just to give you that extra stability because the focus is the back. What does the back do when you go from sitting to standing, and can I give it resistance? One of the guys that I worked with was a professional weightlifter, one of our top guys. He hurt his back against resistance when he went into that deep squat and he did that flexion for a moment. So that's what we're teaching the back to do now. So you can pinch it with your calves, all right? So we lean forward. There's that deep squat. We lift up, pull, hold, slowly control it down. And here, don't do that part. So you want to keep holding on. And exhale. Lift, pull, hold. Control it down slowly. And your bum just kisses that box. Because that point, you don't want to see that flexion happen because it's going to want to. And exhale. We lift, hold, open chest. Slowly control down and sitting on that box. Last two, hand pull, keeping that lumbar extension. Don't do that flexion. And bringing it down and lower. Quads are dying as well. Why not? And exhale. Lift, pull, hold, and slowly controlling it down. Excellent work. All right, so we're going to come up. We're going to take the box off. Like that. I'll do this one as well. Right, feel how that back feels when you bend over now. It's like, you've been doing something. Right, so you're going to stand up on your reformer. So you won't see my head now, but don't worry. You don't need to see it completely. I want bent legs, extended spine. Just curve your spine for a moment, just to allow the muscles to let go. And on your knees, and just extend your back. Hold it there for a second, because you'll feel how much it's worked. And then curve it. And gently release it. Right. I've got my hand on my right knee. I'm going to drop my right band. Holding my hand on my right knee. I'm going to pull this elbow in. And I'm going to rotate to the left leg. And I'm going to control it back to the front. And exhale. Rotate. Hold. Controlling it back. And exhale. Rotate. Hold. And controlling it back. And exhale. Rotate. My elbow is bent. Shoulder is down. And controlling it back. But I'm watching that this knee of the hand that I'm holding, the knee that I'm holding, isn't dropping forward. So I don't want it to do that. I want it to stay in line. And exhale. Rotate, pull. Controlling it back. Last one. And rotate, pull. And gently resisting it back in. You can gently put that one down and just fetch your other one. Right, so we're up. Hand is on the left knee, abdominals holding on, and we go. Rotate, pull, hold, and controlling it in. And exhale, pull, hold, and gently in. And exhale, shoulders down and open, and controlling it in. Rotators are working beautifully, hold, and slowly in. Last two. And exhale, pull, hold. Feet are parallel. Last one, pull and hold. And slowly controlling it in. Excellent. You can grab your other band for me, please. Right. So just be careful when you stand on your bed. Luckily, instructors aren't as crazy as clients are when they stand on these things. Okay, so you've got bent knees there. You're going to be low. I need you to focus. So you're going to pull the bed, stand up straight, bend, bring it forward. And pull the bed. Stand up straight and bend, bringing it forward. And exhale, stand up straight and bend, reaching forward. And exhale, up straight and bend, taking it down. And we lift, up straight. And now we bend and we lower down. And we roll up, extend, pull up straight, bend, chin in, roll down. Restack, extend, pull up straight, bend, release, and down. And restack, extend, stand up straight, bend, release, and down. Last one. And roll up, extend, pull up straight, and control, and releasing it down. From there, if you have the energy, you can still keep going, otherwise you can keep watching because it is a bit hectic. You don't do all of this with your client in one day, but I'm trying to teach you as much as I can in like an hour and a half. Flat back, straight legs, tabletop. We used to do this in contemporary dancing, I'm telling you, used to kill us, but we had seriously strong backs. So flat back over there, tabletop. Find your balance, pull back, and control. And exhale, reach, and control. And exhale, pull, and control. Last two. Exhale, pull, and control. Last one, exhale, pull, bringing it back, bend your knees, slowly rolling up through the spine. Excellent. Come down onto your bed for me, please. If you're not feeling it, you were doing something wrong. There's no doubt in my mind. So now what I want to actually make you aware of is how much work you feel in your lower back. You're like, wow, my lower back muscles haven't worked like this in ages. This is exactly how our lower back muscles should be working, because this is what makes them stronger. And this is what makes them being able to cope with the things that they normally don't cope with. And if you've got a client, for example, that's really interested in toning, this is the type of stuff they should be doing. The one male client that I'm working with now is actually very strong. His weakness is his lower back. Flexing at the hip and maintaining lumbar at the same time. And what makes it a little bit more challenging is the fact that he doesn't have the most flexible hamstrings, but they're not that tight that they should inhibit him so much. He's just never used to working his lower back this way. The improvement that I've seen with him in like 2.5 months, I actually sent him a photo the other day. He was doing a deep squat, perfect spinal position, which there wasn't even a sign of it when we started, and a up stretch or downward dog with a beautiful aligned spine. And he was like, is that me? Because this is the type of work where you've got to teach them to get into that hip flexion and work the spine at the same time. Right. So I want you to hook your feet on your shoulder rests over there. You can actually just lower this bar for now. Sorry. Otherwise it might be in the way. Right, so we're hooking the feet. So remember, whenever we do flexion backwards, it's going to be a release because it's more abs. When you've got these springs, it's not abs anymore because these are actually holding you up. So you're going to curve over your legs, completely relaxed. There's your stretch. And then you're going to roll back just to there. And roll forward, just a release in the back. And you want them to feel how they're rolling onto that sacrum. And when they roll up, Do they feel like there's a little jolt over the one bum muscle more than the other one? Does the one have more tone than the other? So we're just releasing the spine here and allowing the springs not to let our tummy muscles work, because we're actually really just focusing on what's happening in the back. And slowly bring it up, just the last one. So the springs are actually just allowing us to stretch and gently controlling it up. Crossing your legs like you normally would, sitting on here. Arms are straight out in front of you. Open your chest for me. Part of your back extensors is your latissimus dorsi. You can increase your spring load because lats are generally a little bit stronger, even though they don't look it, because it's that piece that's never looking that smooth over the bra strap. You know that piece? That one. Right. So we're sitting up tall in the back here, legs are crossed. Open the chest. I've got 2.5 springs on the bed. You're going to pull back and you're going to give me thoracic extension as you do it. This time you're allowed to bring your shoulder blades closer to each other, and then you slowly going to flex the spine. So eccentric to concentric. Exhale, pull, open the chest, hold, shoulders are down. And curving over and flexing the spine. And exhale, really open the chest. Pull your elbows down to the floor and to the skirting boards and slowly controlling it down. And exhale, opening the chest up, hold, and slowly release it. We'll do one more. And exhale, open the chest out, hold. You're going to keep this position for me. Gently pulse your arms back, tummy draws in. Elbows still pull down so I don't get those upper traps working overly too hard. 8, 9, last one, hold it, and slowly releasing it all the way down. Now you're going to take your feet and hook them up against the shoulder pads again. Hands are by the side, straight arms over there, inhale. Now you've got something to push against. Exhale, and as you do this, I want you to push your feet up against the shoulder pads, because that stops your lower back from arching, and it encourages your thoracic spine from doing more work, and then release it over your thighs. I love this one. I actually often do this one. And exhale, we pull back, push the feet into the shoulder pads, because that makes your pelvis feel like it wants to tuck it, but it can't. And then we curve back over. And exhale, pushing the feet into the shoulder pads, opening the chest out, and slowly curving over. Last 2. And exhale, pull and hold, and gently curving over. And last one, pressing the feet in, open the chest, keep it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly curving over. You can gently let your straps go over there. Now, you're going to bring this foot bar back up. I want you to have 1.5 springs only. You're going to rest your upper back on that bar, and you're actually going to end up pushing the bar away. So find the point on your upper back where it feels comfortable. Okay, because I don't want it to be uncomfortable. As the bed comes back, I put my glutes back on the bed. So your hands are behind your head. You're going to press the bed away, reach it out, hold, and then slowly control it back in. And this is getting that thoracic spine to extend. If you feel 1.5 is too tough, you can just take it down to 1 spring. So we're going to go press it out, lifting and hold, and slowly controlling it in. If you want to increase the amount you go over the bar, take 1/2 spring off, which is what I'm doing now, because I really want to get that extension in my upper back. So we go, press it out, much better. Now I can lift the pelvis and I can go over and slowly controlling it back. Exhale, lift and over and gently controlling it in. If it feels like, my word, this is like the most uncomfortable exercise I've ever done, we probably need more thoracic extension. Exhale, reaching over and slowly controlling it down. This down, I'm doing that deep hip flexion. And exhale, reaching it over, lifting the pelvis up. You're going to hold it here for 5, 4, try and release over, 2, 1, and slowly controlling it all the way back in and relax. Right, now you can go to 1.5 or 2 springs. You're going to be holding on the side of the bed, and you're going to have your legs up against there again. I want you to roll your chest up to the ceiling, just like that. So it's not just a shoulder stretch. We're actually opening it out, and then we release it. If you can lower this bar down. If you feel you have the flexibility, then you lower the client's bar down, and you hold on the top over there. So we open it out, hold, lift it off, place it down, bring it back, keeping that extension, pressing it away, lift it off, place it down, and bringing it back. Press it away, lift it off, placing it down, and pulling it in. Last 2. Pressing it out, lifting it up, placing it down, and pulling it in. Last 1. Pressing it out, lifting it up, lowering it down, and bringing it in. And just getting that thoracic spine to open for it as well. You're going to keep your legs over here on the inside, shuffle your glutes slightly forward, find that bar, place your hands behind your head, and I want you to gently rest over that bar. So I've just got my legs there as a little bit of support in case I need them, and my legs are actually turned out. So I'm releasing over the bar over there. Inhale over. Exhale, gently coming up. And it's not an ab workout, I'm just releasing. Inhale over. And exhale up. I'm going to inhale over and stay there. I've got my feet in between the shoulder pads, my legs are turned out. I lift the glutes up there, my back is working, so it has to work if I'm in this position. Tucking that pelvis through, and then gently lowering down. And exhale, lift, but the bed is still, and gently lowering down. And exhale, ribs close as I lift, really tucking through, digging my heels into each other, and slowly lowering down. Exhale, lifting it up, hold it there for me. You're going to keep this position, lower your head over if you can, just with your thoracic spine. If it's really uncomfortable, you stay where you are for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly lowering it back down and gently putting your hands on the bar and bringing your torso up. You're going to slowly roll down through your spine, and it's like you want to walk your spine forward because we've got those receptors in our back that says, if you're stretching immediately, I'm just going to tell your brain to stop. So you're relaxing forward over your legs, my knees are open. You're going to hold that there. From there, you're going to roll up through the spine, put your hands on the bar at the back. Lift the glutes up, press the bed away with turned out legs. Bring it back in and lower it down. So you work your back every time you do back support. And exhale, pressing it away, open, controlling it in, and lower. So there's a bit of shoulder work going there. and pressing it away. Open, controlling it in, and lower. Last two. And reach, control it in, and lower. Last one, press it away. Reach, controlling it in, and lower. Again, bringing the belly in, walking the spine over, and just allowing it to release really slowly. Slowly rolling up in the back and sitting all the way up. Box, back on the bed for your back. Maybe that's why I said it like that. Right, so the box goes on. We've got the bar down. So I've got that bar sort of a little bit up, or you can bring it all the way up. I just don't like it here by my nose. Okay, everybody's box is on. You're gonna lie on here. I want straight legs, but they're not gonna be squeezing together. There's a lot of legs when you squeeze them together, they make you go into their lumbar spine because they don't have the flexibility here in the front of the hip. So we're gonna have your legs open, hands are on the bar, and I want you to just relax over the bed. So you'll see I'm hanging all the way down. You're going to inhale, exhale, press away, lift, hold. And you're going to lift the legs just a little bit off the bed. But I haven't lifted very high in my back. And then slowly lower it all the way down. And just relax your legs a little bit. And exhale, lift, open the chest, hold. And I want you to think if there was a flame in the front of your chest, it would be facing to the front now, and it wouldn't be collapsing to the floor. So you're opening that chest out, you're using serratus, so you're pushing that bar away. And then lower it back down. And exhale, lifting it up and hold. Now bend your legs to me, heels together, knees apart. So there I'm going to get my glutes activating together with my back, and that's such a powerful combination. We're going to lower the chest down, lower the legs on the box. Exhale, bring it up, tummy draws deep. We lift the back and we lift the legs, and then we slowly lowering it back down. And exhale, lifting it up and hold, and slowly controlling it down. Abdominals holding on in the front. And exhale, lift, reach, hold. You're going to straighten the legs out, maintain that position in the spine. Stay up in your spine for me here. Bend the elbows in, reach one. Bending in, extending two. Bending in, and reaching three. Bending in, extending four. Thinking serratus, reaching, hold it. You're going to bring your chest up like you've learned. But now you push your hands into the bar, and that gets the lats to kick in as well, which helps with that extension. Lower it down, bend the elbows in. We press it out, bringing it up, pulling it in towards you, hold. Lowering it down, and having that support in the front. When you close your rib cage, your thoracic spine works even more because your ribs are resistance for it. And lowering it down, bringing it in. Last one. Bringing it up, reach, 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 hold, and lowering it down, and bringing it back in. Excellent. Take this down completely. So the bar is gone. Okay, I'll actually turn around. You guys can stay in the position that you are, but it looks like my head's going to go off the screen and you can't see. Right, so I want your chest just off the bed. In other words, just under your breasts for me, ladies. All the way down, you're hanging over the box, like this, and your arms are hanging down to the floor. So they are in flexion. You're going to inhale, exhale, lift, legs and back. So we want that beautiful swan-looking spine. and gently relax over. Sorry, I just want to let someone in. And gently pulling it up, opening that chest out, hold, and slowly lowering it all the way down. You really want to hang your chest over, allow it to release every time. Exhale, bringing it up, opening that chest out. You'll feel lower back from everything that you've done up until now, and controlling it back down. And exhale, bringing it up, opening the chest out. Hold that for me. I want you to lower the legs down, tuck the pelvis through, and feel how it transfers into the upper back, and then lower the legs down. So now you're really developing that mind-body connection. We exhale, bring it up. Legs lift. Hold. We lower the legs. We tuck the pelvis. Oh, there's my upper back. And then gently lowering it back down. And we lift everything up. Lifting the legs. Hold. Lower the legs. Tuck the pelvis through. And gently controlling it back down. Last one. And shoulders are down. Lifting the legs. Open the chest. Straight arms. Hey, get those triceps to work. Lower the legs. Tuck the pelvis through. And gently controlling it all the way down. Walk yourself up, one step at a time. Lifting right up onto your knees. And you're going to grab onto your straps again, please. Whew. Tomorrow, we will be feeling this, there's no doubt. Change your springs if you're on 1.5. We better change them now. You're not going to cope with 1.5. Right, so my knees are slightly open over here. My feet are together, just to allow me to have space through my legs. Hands are over here in front of me. You're going to reach your arms down on the side of the reformer. Allow your body to drop. You're going to bring your elbows up to here. I want you to extend your back. Bring your elbows in. Lower all the way down. We bring the elbows up because that's lats, and lats is a fantastic extensor as well. Extend straighten. Bend it in and lower everything down. And we bring it up. Extend and flatten. Bending it in, lowering it all down. And bringing it up. Extend and flatten. There's your back extensors. Bending it in and lowering it down. Last one. And bringing it up. Extend and reach. Bringing it in and lowering it all down. Take your feet on the side like that. And this time you're at the front of the box. And you're hanging forward over the edge of the box. So there's my flexion. You're going to bring it up, extend it and hold it, reach it forward, and lower it all the way down. And bring it up, extend it and hold it, shoulders are down, reaching it forward, and lowering it. And bringing it up. Extend it and hold it, reaching it forward, lowering down, and rolling up. Hands come in, they rotate, they lift, reaching it forward. Jeez, I can feel that back. Now we're going to take those arms to a wide V as we roll up. We roll up. We extend it and open. Bringing it forward and lowering down. We roll up. Extend it and open. Shoulder blades down. Reaching it forward. Lowering down. Last two. Rolling up. Extend it and open. Reaching it forward. Lowering down. Last one. rolling up, extend it to the V, bringing it forward, and gently lowering it back down. Just gently release the straps over there for me. I want you to do the following. So you're going to hold your hands like this for me. So I've interlaced my fingers like that. All right? Sitting on the box. And I want you to drop back into a slight tuck. So I've just got a gentle tuck in my pelvis. And I'm pulling my hands apart. So I want to pull them apart. I'm going to keep the tuck in my pelvis. I'm holding onto the box with my feet. I'm going to extend my thoracic spine as I pull my elbows open. And then I'm going to release. And I'm still trying to keep that gentle tuck. And extend, reach and hold. And gently release. And extend, open the chest and hold. And slowly release. And extend, pulling the arms open. And slowly release. You do the same thing, leaning forward. Except this time you don't have such a hectic tuck. You can put your feet slightly forward, holding it over there. We pull the arms apart. We extend and open as we pull the arms apart. And gently release. Now you can flex. And extend, open the chest, pulling the arms apart. And slowly release. Last two. And extend, pulling the arms apart. And gently release. Last one. And extend, pulling the arms apart. And gently release it. Take your elbows, put them down on the box for me, please. So you're just relaxing down on the box. I've got flexion in my spine. And you're not going to force stretch your spine now because it's worked so much. You don't want to now go and do a tower or anything like that because that's just going to have the complete opposite effect. And the one thing that I can tell you with the back muscles, if they are always long, they don't like to shorten. And in long, I mean if you're sitting behind a desk and you're flexing the whole time and you actually never ever do full concentric work with it. I think with this that we did today on the Reformer, you can actually see how much more we can work the spine. And imagine if our clients could pull this off. I don't think anybody would have back problems. It's all about the fact that we actually don't use it enough. And that's why our spines are just giving in. We're doing absolutely nothing. And when we do something, it's impact and there's nothing that's actually holding it together. I want you to gently walk your spine up. That's how you release it. So you're in that neutral position and I'm holding on the edge of my box. You're going to lie back. Now you can give it a stretch and I'm holding on the box. And then you're gently going to come forward. Just rest your elbows on your legs and reach into that extended neutral spine. And gently curving back, just allowing it to release. And gently coming forward, shoulders down. Last one. And gently curving back and hold. And slowly bringing it forward. And just saying to you, this is what I was doing with you, but I know that you need this right now. Just to wean it, so that tomorrow morning, you don't send me a private message and go, I can't move. I'll be an absolute spasm. If you do have like a really sore back muscles tomorrow, it just means that we need to do more of this. And we're probably all going to feel like that, me included. And then slowly walk yourself back up and relax. Fantastic, ladies. Wowzer. Let me just come closer and put you guys there. Susan, you came late, but it doesn't matter. I've recorded it. Don't worry. I see there's lots of people that are going to need the recording. Right. Does anybody have any questions on any of that stuff that we just did? How did it feel? Maybe I should ask you that. Did it feel completely new? Did you see there wasn't a single pulling straps?
It felt amazing.
Hey, we didn't pull straps at all. Well, we pulled straps, but we didn't do traditional pulling straps and breaststroke. So this is like the beauty of any exercise equipment. But for me personally, the beauty of Pilates equipment is it is so diverse. We can do so much on it. All you need to look at is, well, I stood on it. I've done front splits. I've done back splits. I've done abduction and adduction. Is that it? Is that all we can do when we're standing on this thing? Why can't we flex our spine and extend our spines? Because this is really what our spines need. And I promise you, I've been working on so many people now. And let me tell you, the sports people, they need this. There is not one sports person that I've worked with that can extend their spine and flex their hip at the same time. They cannot do this position. They can't have, I really wore the wrong top today. They can't have this position, extended spine and flexed hip. And as soon as you increase that hip flexion, they immediately go into that. So this type of exercise is for everybody. If you look at your clients doing sitting leg lift, not everybody calls it that, where you're just sitting and you're lifting your leg up and down like that, and you're looking at what their back's doing, and every time they tuck their pelvis, there's a couple of reasons for it. It either is tight hamstrings, so that it would be ridiculous if we said it couldn't be. But if they have flexible hamstrings and they're still doing that, it's one of two things, or both of them at the same time. Either the hip flexor is not used to working in such deep concentric form, so it is saying to the body, you must be joking, I can't do this. So you're going to find another way to get that leg up, and you're going to flex the spine. It's the only way I can do it. So that could be the one reason why they would cheat like that. The second reason is they never work their lumbar spines. Because if you think of your clients, every time they feel their back, they go, oh, my back is working. Oh, I'm feeling so much in my back. If you look at the exercise, maybe you should actually be feeling your back. So I'll judge it and see what is the exercise I'm doing. And they'll say, I'm feeling my back. I'm like, fantastic. And they're like, huh? You have to work your back. It's like you have to work your neck. How can you never work your neck? You've got to hold your head up. So it just depends on the exercise that you're doing. But this type of program we can do, obviously looking at, and all you need to do is change spring load. You do this program with anybody, just lower the spring load. Obviously be careful of discs, hey? I don't want to say everybody and it's like recorded, but obviously be careful of certain kinds of injuries. But if you take half a spring and you start the entire session with one of your lightest springs, your 50, 60, 70-year-old clients, they can do it. And when you just up that spring load to like one spring, you're like, oh, we're upping it. Feel how much stronger it feels now. Today I was working with two ladies who I've been working with for, well, let's say 3 months. And they both said to me, am I just having a bad day? Both of them, one after the other. Am I just having a bad day? Because this feels incredibly difficult for me today. So I was like, no, you're having a really good day. I'm just pushing you a little bit harder. And at the end, they were like, damn, that was hard. And I said to them, fantastic, I can't believe. Do you know why I'm happy with the session you did? You had no compensations. Your form was brilliant. You might be sore tomorrow, but next week you'll be stronger. And they were both like, yes, I actually did really well today. So in the beginning, they thought they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But when we tell them why we're doing this and why it's actually okay, they'll do it. The one male client that I have, the first appointment we ever had, because he was really skeptical about this, he said to me, you know, I don't really need to work so hard. So I like to take it slow. And, you know, I like to do things right and I don't want to work too hard. So I said to him, no, that's cool. You know, so I took it slow and it's now been 3 months and he did a session on Monday with me. And I said to him, do you remember that first conversation we had where you told me you don't want to work hard? How was that session? And he was like, that was so hard. I said to him, and look how strong you are. So if I kept you at that pace, you would be nowhere now. you're stronger, and he can feel it. His body feels stronger. He's about 64. His breathing is better. He says everything he does in the day, he feels like he's so much stronger. So we just have to encourage them to work more. And we just have to encourage them to take movements that they're not used to and feel them and be okay with it. You're looking at them and you can see, well, you're not compensating. Nothing's going wrong. You're totally fine. You're coping. Does that make sense? Cool. Does anybody have any questions related to everything we just did? Did you enjoy it? Did you feel it working? At one point I was like, I need to give them a release because I need the release right now.
Sorry, Tanya, can I just ask, a client with osteoporosis who has also had a couple of fractures in her spine. Now she really needs to, to increase the strength in the spine. Can I do all the extension with her and not do the articulation into flexion?
Yes. So that is exactly what I would say is don't do that flexion part.
Yeah.
Start her half a spring and just keep her on that extension part. If you sit upright and you pull the bed, your back extensors work because the bed wants to pull you forward.
Yeah.
Okay. When you lean forward and pull the bed, gravity wants to pull you and the bed wants to pull you. So you increase it every time you lean forward. When you lean back, it's abdominals. Those are what's going to be working. So you can start her upright, one spring, hinging, half a spring, hinging, half a spring, upright, one, hinging, one. That's how you work between upright and hinging. And then her spine will be totally fine.
And the rotation?
As long as it's this position.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not going to make her do that type of rotation. But this sitting tall, you know what the funny thing is? I actually had a client who's had 5 spinal fusions. She was struck by lightning. It was quite a... But she's still here. She's still alive. And she was moving around like this. She couldn't move. And I said to her, but she said, no, they told me I mustn't move. So I said to her, but how are you going to move like you're moving now for the rest of your life? Because when I talk to her and we're laughing, she'll go, ha, 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 and she'll do this with her neck. So I was like, hang on a minute. You're doing this anyway. You just don't realize it. So we have to allow them to be able to do those movements, but we build up their strength little bit by little bit by little bit. But we have to build up their strength and we have to increase the resistance. Leg and footwork on here, I have no idea why people stick to like 2 or 3 springs for 15 years.
Go for it.
Tedious. It's like, am I not stronger in 15 years? When I do leg and footwork on here, it's all springs. I want them all on because I want to know that I started off with 3 springs and I'm now doing all springs and I'm feeling it work. Because I know I can maintain my neutral pelvis and I'm doing the hip dissociation. And that's how we get physically stronger. That's how we get stronger. What is the difference between the people who are doing weight training and the people who are doing Pilates? It's 2 completely different physiques. But I've done this for 22 years. I don't look like I did when I was dancing, I'll be honest. But I did this 2 hours a day with my dancing, and I was in the best shape I'd ever been in because I was loading it and I was using the equipment as a workout. And when I wanted to use it for stretching and releasing and technique, I'd use it for that. And when I wanted to use it for leg height, I'd have to add resistance because I need the strength to get my leg up. And you can do all of that on this awesome equipment.
And with somebody with discs, as long as the discs aren't in chronic pain, can you start to introduce the articulation and the flexion?
So let me tell you this. So the one male that I take is a triathlete. He's got a herniated thoracic spine disc. Bad. So I trained him for, I would say, 2 months in no thoracic flexion. Because when he lifted his arms to the front and he held one of his kids or he had weights here, he would get the tingling sensations down his arms. So for 2 months, I did no thoracic flexion. I did lumbar. I actually did pelvic curls, but I never did things where he had his feet on the ball rolling up and taking him into that deep thoracic flexion. I used to work his back where he'd lie flat on his back, arms straight up to the ceiling, taking both legs away from him and reaching his arms above his head. Because as soon as you do that type of movement, and I'll show you over here, as soon as you do this, your upper back is working. So I would strengthen his upper back there, doing these kinds of things, single leg stretch, arms up. I'd have him doing triceps in this position for about 2 months. And I had him doing a lot of spinal work here, just in this position and not doing the flexion. And my sign was, he said to me about 2 months ago, he said to me, I have no more tingling, it's gone. I can hold my kids here, everything is perfect. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do chest lifts. Next step. And we started doing chest lifts. He's doing chest lifts, teasers, everything. But I first made sure, but he comes 3 times a week. I first made sure for those 2 months that I set his spine and I made him aware of where the thoracic spine was and what it felt like. And I did a lot of shoulder stability strength because that gives him that thoracic spine strength that I need him to get if I'm going to have him flexing his spine. And that was things like going up into this position and then going forward into I don't have space, but into a front support. So going from front support into a full pike position, because that works your thoracic spine and your shoulder stabilizers incredibly. So when I saw I had the strength in his upper back to perform all of those movements, I was like, I think I can do that flexion now. But when he started, his work was too much like this, and there wasn't any tone here, which told me there was nothing that was going to hold the vertebra and the discs if I made him do the rollovers and the flexions and stuff. I still don't do rollovers with him. So I don't want to do that with him now because everything's going so well. And it's not functional. He doesn't have to do a rollover. He doesn't roll over anyway. So his things are triathlete stuff, running, cycling, swimming, skiing. So I'm going to get him really strong for that, and then I'll move on, maybe later. But he does roll-ups now, which I wouldn't have done with him in the beginning. He does teasers, but I first set him for 2 months, 3 times a week.
So you can build up to anything gradually, really, if you're...
Exactly, yes. And I'm always about rather safe than sorry, especially if somebody tells me that they've got neural feedback.
Yeah.
It's not my spine, and I don't want, I want him to feel better. And I mean, if he gets results, he likes what I'm doing. And then he refers people on, and that's the recipe. You know what I mean? But I think with discs, especially a posterior bulge, this session today would have killed him. Would have been in the ER tomorrow. But the extension part of it and the neutral, that would have been really good for them. You would treat that person like you would treat your client with osteoporosis. Yes. Yeah.
I tend to treat people with discs pretty much like the people with osteoporosis anyway. So.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? Eventually they get strong enough to be able to do this stuff. And mine was a disc when I sat in the car for so long, for 2.5 hours. Why? Because I have a really flexible spine in flexion. And it was for my benefit when I was doing all my dancing and stuff. But then it was really strong. And then we went and I sat 2.5 hours in deep lumbar flexion. And when I got out, I literally couldn't stand up straight. I was walking with my hands on my knees. And my husband was like, what's going on? And I said, I know exactly what's happening here. The only thing that made it better, or let's not say better, that took that twinge away that I kept feeling was when I loaded it. I just decided, well, I'll just use myself as a guinea pig because I can't bear it anymore. And I just went into the gym because I didn't have that in my studio, and I just picked up 20 kilos 3 times a week. And I felt fantastic, and I've never had that again. It wasn't the gym. It was the weight, the fact that I could use the weight to strengthen my back. Remembering that I had the mind-body connection and I wasn't going to go into a tuck all of a sudden when I lifted it up. So if your client doesn't have that connection, not a good idea. But for them, for example, I'm going to grab my kettlebells, totally off the reformer topic, but it's cool. Don't mind. So these are what I believe 10 pounds, 4 kilos. This is a brilliant exercise for spines. You don't have to do both of them, you can do one, where they have to maintain a small forward hinge. And this is the type of things I did with that guy. He wasn't allowed to do this. He had to open his chest to the front, close his rib cage. Just that, they're working already in their back. And then you just pull it up. And this actually lightens the load when it comes back here. And this increases the load when it goes forward. And that is a fantastic exercise for any spinal anything. It's safe. You can have your spondylolisthesis, disc people, anybody doing that. Just being aware that the spondylolisthesis people aren't allowed to go into increased extension. You might want to do theirs in a marginal amount of flexion. But that's like strengthening the spine in that position is exactly what you want.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you. That's great.
Any other questions?
It's really good thinking about the hinge, how much hinging, a tiny difference in the hinge makes to how much it feels, how hard it feels. So that was really good to take away from that.
Yes.
You don't need to do very much change in the position of your hinge and it feels really different.
Absolutely. That guy that I was telling you about that I'm working with, who I'm trying to get extension in the spine and flexion in the hip, we started him with small hinges and I build them up. So we'll be going, I started in bent legs, hinging forward, up, just to there. Then I was like, you're going to go lower and I need this, stick your bum out, hold. And then I was like, good, you're doing that. Can you reach your arms forward and keep that? Because now I increase the load on his lower back. And this was really hard for him, I've got to tell you. Such a strong guy, but so difficult. Then I was like this, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I want you here. Now you're going to straighten your legs and bend, straighten and bend, keeping that. And then you're going to straighten and bend and straighten and bend. And then I had him straighten, stay, rise, lower to increase his spinal strength. And it works like a bomb.
That looks good, yeah.
Cool. Anything else? Laurie, do you have any questions? You're so quiet. You're fine. You're on mute, so I can't hear you.
So there we go. Now, hi, I'm in the USA and I've been wanting to check out some of your stuff for a long time. So I'm very excited and hope to do more. It's great.
Oh,
It's
good.
great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Now, this is helpful too, because I lift weights personally. And so it's kind of showing me where I've been doing a couple of things that I shouldn't be doing. So thanks.
Any exercise is good if it's done correctly. Not any exercise, I can't actually say it because there's some of them that's really not good. But I'm talking about like gym-wise, yoga, Pilates, anything that's in a controlled environment, because we know that running has its negatives, hockey has it, they all have their negatives, dancing has its negatives, but any kind of exercise that's in a controlled environment is actually good. Like I take my Pilates principles onto the gym equipment. And I take my gym principles onto my Pilates equipment.
Right.
Because in the gym, they've got more science behind their work. All right. It's more science background, which I absolutely love. And I don't see why we can't put that on here because it's movement. And I've always said, like from the beginning, if we're studying movement, we have to know what moves us. And we know what moves us, we have to know why it moves people differently. So why does my spine move one way and this client's spine moves that way? And I've had it for 15 years and it still moves that way. You know, it's improved a little bit, but it still doesn't have that amount of flexibility. What's the difference? So we take that info that we have And then we put it on the person that's in front of us, and then we create a picture of what they need, not just what the book says. And
Right.
look at their personality. And you think, well, how am I going to approach this? What do I need to do to make them feel like I've got a thing? Do you know why I love online training? Is I can take photos. I'm like, they don't even know. Susan, you don't even know I've been taking photos. They're training and I'm looking at them like this and my camera's here. And then after the session, they've got a WhatsApp and I'm like, look at that position. You couldn't do that. And I did it this now with Karen yesterday as well. She was doing push-ups in the pike. And she said to me, I want to work on my shoulders. You know, I want to get stronger in my shoulders. So I was like, okay, cool. And I've been working with her for 2 months. And then her friend, who's now also joined, she said to me, oh my word, I want my quads as strong as hers are now. I saw what she was doing with those quads of hers. So it's all about just taking care of them, looking at their personality, understanding the science, and then moving the body. Simple. And then knowing what it feels like. That's so important. What does it feel like if I've got a spasm in my neck? What does it feel like? And all of your experiences, you can learn from them. I did a hot pod yoga class once, went into a jackknife. My spine is flexible. I can flex, especially in flexion. And we were in this jackknife and I was like, oh, something doesn't feel right in this jackknife. And while I was in jackknife, I felt the neural sensation in my lumbar spine. And I thought, oh my word, what have I done? So the girl that I was with, I said to her, I'm coming down. And I walked out and I was like, okay, I think I'm fine. The next morning, I don't know what happened. And guess what? In 7 days' time, I was due to fly to the UK to do the shoulder stability course with this neck. And I thought, oh my word, what am I going to do? I lay on the bed like this and I couldn't lift my neck off of the pillow. That's how bad it was. And then I thought to myself, well, I'm going to learn from this because this is how my clients feel. I couldn't move my arm. I said to my husband, you have to dress me. And one of my clients was a doctor. She is a doctor. I phoned her and I said, I just need an injection. She was like, what? I said, I'm a week. Then I'm in the UK and I'm teaching people how to move their shoulders. And I can't even move my arm. You need to give me a shot. Just do it. And that was the first time I realized if your client says that I've got any neural pinching or pain or I've done something to my neck, I'm so much more sensitive to it now. And I'm like, okay, let's think about this clearly. What could I do? What couldn't I do? What might they be feeling? What does it feel like if I flex my spine too much and it goes into spasm? What does bursitis feel like? And maybe being a dancer and having all of those injuries helped me feel what these things feel like. So I can sort of relate it to what they're thinking. And I know that if I do this movement with them right now, that's what it's going to feel like. I'm sure you can see my daughter crawling on the floor behind me. Any other questions? Everybody's fine. I'm going to send you guys this recording. Before I do that, I know my computer recorded somebody before this, so let me save that. Otherwise, it won't save this. There we go. I'll send you all this recording and then you can just keep doing it on yourself and then choose the pieces that you want to use for your client. Okay. And then I hope to see you guys again.
Thank you. That was really good.
It's a huge pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
He says he was phoning